Let's turn then to Asaduddin Owaisi, who joins me at this moment because he's been one of the voices who's been protesting against that order. AIMIM MP, appreciate your joining us, Mr. Owaisi. The Supreme Court today intervening in the Kawad Yatra case. Your response: do you believe the courts have in a sense restored faith in constitutional values that put individuals at the center of it? It is, of course, only an interim order.
Yeah, it's an interim order, and we welcome it. And I have always said that this so-called police directive or the order of Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath is unconstitutional. It promotes untouchability. It violates Article 17. It takes away livelihood of poor Muslims, which is a violation of Article 19. So yes, and this is a discriminatory order. It's clear-cut apartheid. It reminds us of what Hitler did to the Jews in Germany, and which led to London boycott. So yes, the Supreme Court has heard the matter, and they'll decide on Friday.
You know, but when you use words like apartheid, Hitler, the government will turn around and say, Asaduddin Owaisi, this is fear-mongering. The government claims we are following the Shops and Establishments Act, we are following Food Security Acts where the regulations were brought in when the UPA was in power, making it imperative for shop owners to disclose names and details on a board. Are you saying the government is being disingenuous there, or are you the one who's seeing a devil where none exists?
Well, Mr. Narendra Modi rose to this position by saying that he used to sell tea on a railway station. Did the Prime Minister was selling tea only to the Hindus, not to the Muslims? And they talk about should a person selling mango on Bandi, should he display his name? A person selling pakoda, samosa, should he show his name? And if the law is there, let us go to McDonald's and see where in one corner the name of the proprietor is written. Here in Uttar Pradesh, Rajdeep, Muslims were forced to change the name of their dhabas. And they were told to write in big letters the name of the Muslim owner. Hindu owners were forced to kick out Muslim employees.
You see, the government says that we've never called for an economic boycott of Muslims, and therefore when the Owaisis of the world use words like apartheid, you seem to be suggesting just the opposite, that the government was advocating an economic boycott where all the government claims it was doing was trying to streamline a particular process on the Kawad Yatra.
It was, and today the petitioners, I'm grateful to them, all three of them, they had shown to the Supreme Court some TV channels news that the Muslim employees were kicked out. There was an economic boycott of Muslims. It was shown to the Supreme Court. How can BJP say this? They're completely lying.
But, you know, Asaduddin Owaisi, all of this, of course, suggests, according to some, that what we are seeing post-election is once again an attempt being made to ratchet up politics of communal stereotyping. One would have thought the election verdict would provide a healing touch, that politicians across the spectrum would realize that voters want you to focus on issues of rozgar, want you to focus on mehengai and not talk about dharma and religion all the time.
Well, the BJP has not learned the lesson, and I hope that they continue to not to learn the lesson, and they lose more political ground. And they lose the forthcoming elections which are going to happen. There has been an economic boycott of Muslims in Muzaffarnagar. No one can deny that.
No one can deny it, but the fact, Mr. Owaisi, is on the ground in places like Kairana, also in Western UP, a young Muslim woman, Ikra Mohammed, won the election and obviously got votes from both Hindus and Muslims. So in a sense, on the ground, people want to reach out to each other. Mr. Owaisi, would you agree, therefore, whether it's a Hindu leader, whether it's a Muslim leader, politics is moving beyond religion and politicians are a step behind society at the moment?
Well, Rajdeep, it suits you. I think so. It gives you some sadistic pleasure for always blaming me. Come on. I mean, there are only 4% Muslims who get elected in parliament. Who is responsible? Mr. Sardesai, who happened to be an upper caste? Or some backward class political leaders? In your state of Maharashtra, there's not a single Muslim MP. Do you blame me? There was one Imtiaz Jalil and everyone ganged up to defeat him. So it is not me. It is the BJP and other political parties who only pay lip service to secularism.
Mr. Owaisi,
why do you blame me? I am bringing out the truth and facts in front of you.
Mr. Owaisi, I want to make this very clear. I am certainly not putting you on the dock here. In the dock at the moment, as the Supreme Court also suggested, is the UP and Uttarakhand government and the way they've handled the issue. All I'm saying is there space, Mr. Owaisi, in this climate for a healing touch where people recognize that the real issues now will have to go beyond religious identity politics?
Well, I have said this in the parliament that BJP's victory is a majoritarian victory. The opposition parties call it a moral victory for themselves. What kind of a moral victory where you have only 4% Muslims in the Indian parliament? Where is the question of healing? The wound is very huge. My question to Mr. Yogi Adityanath is that, can he tell the Lulu Mall owner to please write his original name over there?
We'll ask. That's a good point. Mr. Yogi Adityanath, will you put the name of the Lulu Mall owner right on the top? Asaduddin Owaisi. For now, let's leave it there. I appreciate you joining me.